For the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation Podcast, with 40 years of playing PlayStation and 10 plus years in that games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, come and check out our socials, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/PopCulturists. We want to record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you're listening on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you ever watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/PopCulturists, as well as our merchandise store at popculturists.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. And it's interesting when we're like, hey, you know, like we'll do our very best to deliver a show each and every week, every Monday morning, 8 a.m. podcast, YouTube's at 9. How rain, shine, like slight windy days, I guess. You know, even when a baby is born, literally.
The power's been off at your house all day.
It has been off all day. It was rough. It was real rough. But yes.
Yet we still managed to make the deadline.
We did.
Power or no power.
An arbitrary deadline that we made that no one really cares about but us. But, as mentioned, even having a baby. Those there, look at that. There's a little baby down there. So, for those watching the video version,
sleeping on my desk.
I'll let Max do the formal introduction. But for those playing at home, we've been discussing the journey, the story of Max and his wife,
Little Chungus.
and Little Chungus. You fill us in, Max. How's Chungus?
Chungus is small.
Yeah.
So we will basically, well, on Tuesday we had said Lil Chungus. Turns out that he could have used the extra because obviously we'd been comparing him with his sister for so long, who was quite big when she was born. So there was a 600 gram difference between the two.
Yeah,
now 600 grams, bugger all. But he is 2 weeks earlier than what she was, so he's a month prem.
Yep.
And he's almost bigger than his sister.
Yep.
He's slightly shorter.
Yep.
But has a way bigger head.
Oh yeah, his head is huge. He has definitely got the Cooper noggin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
so
no,
that's what I've been doing this week. So I haven't played anything. I haven't really done much this week.
no need to at all. But of course,
except for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Now, of course, he's not named Little Chungus.
Oh, well, not anymore.
He will be for a while.
I feel like we had to give up that. You feel like we had to give up that name when he didn't come out bigger than his sister.
Yeah, it's true. But like, you can still be a Chungus in here, where it counts.
In his heart.
Yeah, in your heart. Like, some people are Chunguses here in the guts, some are here in the heart. But it turns out, for little baby Chungus, it's all here in the head.
It's all here in the. It's all in the head.
It's all in the head because he's big Chungus.
Megamind.
Yeah. But, yeah, the MGP in the chat says Megamind style head. It's pretty much.
I didn't even see that, yeah.
It's little South Park. Little body, big head.
Like Boss Baby.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, huge congratulations to both yourself, Ali, and Hatley, now a big sister. And you've sent me through some videos. She is absolutely stoked. She adores him.
Yeah. She's it's not having to fight my wife for time with the child. It's having to fight my own child to spend time with my other own child.
Yeah. No, she's got big happy big sister energy. It's incredible.
It's been good.
Yeah, so Lil Chungus has just had himself a feed. He's chilling. For those that are joining us a bit later, for those watching us maybe on the YouTube or listening to us. He is in the arms of his papa at the moment,
and hopefully he stays asleep.
Yeah, he may sleep the whole way through. He may not. I may shit on Final Fantasy, and then suddenly he's awake and he's angry because we know that Wii blood is strong, passed down in the genetics.
I don't know. Maybe he's an Xbox fan. He just doesn't give a shit.
Oh, wouldn't that be a thing? He's just cranky the whole time. He's just Xbox fan. Ugh. Can you disown a 5-day-old baby if they like Xbox? Could be a Nintendo fan.
He's wearing blue.
Good kid. Purple would have been better, but that's what. Maybe for his little welcome to the world present, I'll get him a nice PopC purple branded onesie. Yeah, that's so good.
Manscaped for babies tank top or something.
That would be mad. Wazza says trade him in at EB Games. Yeah, what would EB Games give you for a baby?
Fuck all. I mean, you lose 80% on a brand new trade in. The game could be a day old, and they'll be like, best we can do is 10 cents.
Yeah, and they're like, this baby is 5 days old. That is outside of the discussion window of babies. No one really cares. It's the first 2 days, where the most profit could be made on a baby. What if we just give you a copy of FIFA 14? We have 900 of them for some reason. Oh, but my week is so disappointing in comparison now. I got nothing.
Got nothing?
No, I did some cool shit, but baby cool shit.
I mean, did you go to meme college again this week?
Oh, of course I went to meme college this week. I was in Sydney for a couple of days. Meme college. I reckon they would hate it if I refer to the job as meme college. Yeah, went to Sydney for a couple of days, came back. I had my son this weekend, which was lovely. We went to Seaford for Adrenaline Pro Wrestling. So he went to his first wrestling show in a very long time, and he was stoked. He had such a good time. We've created this rule. The rule of the wrestling is where obviously he's not allowed to swear or say inappropriate things outside. But when it's wrestling time, the rules are a little bit lessened. So you're allowed to swear within reason at the bad guys, at the heels. You're allowed to give them the finger. You're allowed to tell them that they suck. Those wrestling rules can be dropped a little. Have some fun. And boy was he stoked. But weirdly enough, couldn't swear. We could have tried to bribe him, and he wouldn't have done it. He's like, I don't want to say it. He's like, you can tell he wants to say it, but he doesn't want to say it. He's like, I don't want to say it. You're going to get in trouble.
I totally thought that was going to go the other way.
I have to bribe him to stop swearing.
He's just cut loose.
Oh, shit, that'd be cool. Oh, shit. And I just...
very nice. Very double noise.
Big shout out to the Mullet Show for resubscribing for 1 month at tier 1. They have been subscribed for 66 months. That's a long time. Not in a row, but a long time. I swear it used to be in a row. What happened? What happened, Craig?
Yeah, he gave his up to someone else.
I'm pretty sure Craig hasn't streamed in 11 years, and I'm pretty sure I'm still subscribed to him on Twitch. Since day 1, by the way. So, just saying. It's in a row. Well, it doesn't say in a row. What I'm saying. That's why I want to make you feel unreasonably guilty. Look, no, shout out to those that do subscribe and support us on Twitch, because Twitch will likely be paying for Liza P this week. So shout out to that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. We did that. It was fun. Speaking of the Mullet Show, though, speaking of Craig, we did our weekly GM mode. Well, we have WWE 2K23, where we have our competitive fantasy wrestling league. We had a double change of belts this week, Max.
Yes.
Yeah. So Craig, who for quote-unquote sickness, was unable to attend the last 2 weeks, so we gave him a bunch of shit to be like, you're just being a dodgy champion, you're not willing to defend the belt, blah, 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 you suck. He responded with, well, would someone that sucks put both their belts on the line? I'm like, possibly. So we did. So we did our 4-man team, but he put the belt of our 4 and our 3-man team on the line. So if it was won by Ange, my housemate, he would have the 3-man belt would have been vacated because it's between Phoebe, myself, and Craig. However, that is not what happened. In an absolute upset, moving from 3rd to 1st.
I'll bring you out. I'll be back in a second. My arm's gone dead. I'm just going to move him.
Oh, good call. Well, I'll let you guys know at home. So, in an absolute upset, from 3rd, and quick one glimpse, you last little glimpse at the Peppers. He's adorable, by the way. He's an absolute little baby. I haven't met him yet in person, but I'm going to give him some big old fucking shenanigans when I see him. Because I said, I don't remember my baby, like my son, ever being that small. I don't think he was ever that small. But yeah, I look forward to going at the babies. But yes, moving from 3rd to 1st was my partner, Phoebe. Absolute upset. She was not prepared, not ready. We didn't think it was going to happen. We thought Ange had it in the bag. Because we also finished the season as well. So we were doing our WrestleMania. We kind of all just went ham on the last show of the season. I was in 4th because I got collectively assaulted by power cards earlier in the season, and it just left me utterly ruined for the rest of the run. But yeah, no, she did end the season with 2 belts, which is impressive. And she was a good winner because she did not expect it to happen. She was very kind and didn't shit on anyone about it. But all power to our 2-belt champion, Phoebe. She's doing good.
And one of you has to be doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing horrendous. Being in 4th is not good. It's not a good look for me. Now, granted, it does give me good draft picks as we head into the new season, but that doesn't bode well for me.
No.
Yeah. All right, let's get on the section call what we've been playing. Now, Max says, obviously, because you have just had babies, well, not you personally, you have been involved in the birthing and looking after of a new infant. I imagine you've had very limited gameplay experience this week.
Yeah, I've dabbled in Baldur's Gate 3, but I haven't been able to touch much else. So I'm still cracking through that. I'm in the latter half of Act 3. It's still fucking rad.
See, that would make sense. With a turn-based game like that, it's probably the best thing to do when you have a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the other games that I've been playing, drawing a blank here. Let me turn my PlayStation. Armored Core, for instance.
Yeah, you can't babies in Armored Core.
No, you cannot babies in Armored Core.
I don't think you can pause that game, can you?
I think so. It's a little bit more forgiving than Souls.
Oh, okay.
So.
Ugh.
I've played a few pickup games of NBA 2K24, which is still rad. Still having fun with that.
Nice.
And then suffering the Beton level FOMO that he had last week from Starfield. For
2 weeks
Liza
ago,
P.
Starfield, yeah.
For Liza P.
Yeah, man, Liza P.
To the point where I almost deluxe editioned it last night for the early access.
Yeah. How much? What's the difference? What's the cost of one versus the other?
I think it's 84 to 99.
What do you get in deluxe?
72 hours early access. And
that's it.
Bobs.
The bits and bobs. Anything of cool?
I think so. I'm just gonna
because even though I really despise this pay extra for early access nonsense, I know you're really excited for the game. I'm a little excited for it because the demo was sick.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like if I wait a couple of days, I can theoretically play it for free
on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally $84.95 up to $99.95. It's a $15 difference, and you get some clothes and a hat.
Yeah, no thanks.
Plus the early access.
Yeah.
So you're definitely paying to play early.
Yeah, no, we'll wait and we'll pay for it on the day. Wait. But yeah, no, that's cool. So how many hours are you in Baldur's Gate now? Obviously not collectively because you're doing like multiple runs.
Just to say, with in which campaign? Well, if I open, because I'm playing on PC, if I open my Steam, I'm currently sitting at 70 hours, but I think that's a bit wrong. I think it's slightly more than that. Yeah, but I'd say around between 70 to 90 hours I've been playing.
That's a good run. That's a very good run indeed. What?
Changed classes of my main character about 5 times.
Oh my god, it's sleepy. Oh. Yeah, that did kind of take me back last week when you were like, you can just change classes any time. Like, I'm sorry, what?
It's kind of good.
I like it.
It's kind of good. My paladin kind of broke his oath and lost all his paladin levels. That sucked.
Oh, that would be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, turns out I accidentally killed some innocent people. Whoops, my bad.
Oops. Oh, well.
Rerolled him.
Well, the choice was kind of taken out of your hands at that point. You're like, oh, well, I have no choice but to...
He kind of became useless.
Dirty.
But, yeah, good times.
Yeah, but I myself, what have I been playing this week? Being in Sydney, and like with the big work days that I had, and I just kind of like, ugh. So I ended up just playing a lot of Sea of Stars in Sydney. So I have no idea where I'm at in that game in terms of like length of time, but I think I've put like 8 to somewhere between 8 and 10 hours into it, which is a lot for me, like especially in one go. Like you know my tactics, Max. I only play for a stint, get distracted, and then come back and stint it again, and then whatever.
Especially with RPGs.
Yeah, I said I have done pretty much this consistently. Like when I have been playing games, it has predominantly been Sea of Stars. I don't know what it is. There's something about it has really grabbed me. I think, pardon me, I am enjoying its turn-based appeal. We love you yawning in this show. With its visual style, we discussed this last week, of course. In its how it looks, I think it looks fantastic. It's really forgiving in the right ways. Like, dying doesn't have any major consequences. You just go, oh, I'll just come back. And you just go again. And it's normally just before the whatever the battle or boss that you just took you out. They do have a bunch of relics that allow you to sort of give little assist or accessibility options. Like I was getting my shit kicked in by this necromancer, and then I went and just turned on all the relics that I had purchased, made it super cake. But I was like, I'm talking, this boss was kicking my dick in, and I'm like, this is not very fun at the moment. I'm gonna make some tweaks. Then I did, and I kicked it 2 times, I think, because it was just one of those things where like they were spawning either zombies or skeletons, and each of them had different vulnerabilities to different magic, so you got to try time it. And then the necromancer had no vulnerabilities to no magic, so you have to try to take out them first, but then while also dealing damage to them, knowing full well that you just have to sponge them because they're like nothing is weakening them. That sort of blunt force. It was good. Got past that, kept going. Game's sick. I'm in the process of returning a soul stone to my teammate Garl. Good kid. That's tons of fun. Let's see. Outside of that, a lot more of Immortals of Avium. According to PlayStation, I'm sitting at 55-60% done, which is sick. I have just got this thing on my hand that lets me see a binding stone or something, and I gotta like chase a dude about it. Is that more or less where you are?
A little bit further ahead of me now, I think.
All right, cool. Fuck yeah. About time I'm ahead of Max in a game. That never happens. But as I mentioned last week, I've been playing it with my son. I don't know what it is. Excuse me. I think he just likes the flashing colors and the running around shooting things. But like, initially I was like reluctant, and I was like, oh man, I don't know how he's gonna go. Like with that Doom style, don't slow down gameplay. I'm like, how's he going to do it? I don't think he has the reflexes yet. Turns out he kind of does. Like he's worked out that, you know, how to do the color matching to ensure that what works to what vulnerabilities each of these enemies have, how to jump and hover and, like, you know, dodge and use the additional magic fucking things. The word I can't think of right now.
Shield barrier thing.
Yeah, the shields, and like the one that breaks shields, and then the one that, like, you know, like all the little extra trinkety things that kind of he's sussed out how to do all that. He really enjoys the in-between combat moments as well, which is just the traversal and sort of, you know, he loves the whip and, you know, gallivanting around Avium, which is really cool. And being able to share that with him is fun. Like, I essentially have been able to watch him and just sort of take all the story in by proxy, and then he just kind of hits me up whenever it gets too hard, and then I'll come in, I'll clear the boss or clear the conflict in pretty quickly and pass it back to him. And that's been tons of fun. But I still really enjoy the story. There was a cool twist a little bit ago, when the revealing that this person is this person, and you go, oh shit, oh damn indeed. And they don't really touch it. They don't really jump into it too much further then, but you kind of know that, like, it's going to come back later and you're going to get all that shit filled in, which, like, you know, it's the name of the episode, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. It's it's incredibly disheartening and saddening to hear what is happening to Ascendant, Ascendant Studios, because this game has incredible potential. It's a new IP. It's a cool concept. It's an incredible world. The lore is deep, like really deep. And even when they're listing out a bunch of 1,000 names of all these things and characters, I'm still going out of my way to pay attention when they talk about, like, the pentaside or whatever it is, and this and the lightless and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, and like Kendrak, I'm like, oh okay, shit, all right. Try to remember all these names and follow it through, and I'm like, this is fucking interesting. Because obviously I'm a bit ahead of you now. How are you sort of finding? Is that lining up with what you were sort of thinking?
Oh yeah, pretty much. Like I said, you know, the story was strong enough to pull me through. They do throw a lot of. There is a lot of its own terminology.
Chunks is a wag.
Yeah, Ali just came in to steal his bottle. He didn't eat enough before, because he's like, I'll have half a bottle and fall asleep. And now he wants the other half. So
yeah,
classic. In a life where all he does is eat and sleep, he doesn't even eat properly.
Hey, it's been 5 days, man. He's sussing it out.
No, but Immortals would be fun. I get bogged down under the weight of my own. I have to go see what's around this corner, and then there's a puzzle there. Then I have to do that puzzle, regardless of whether or not I have the ability to do that puzzle yet. Because not all the puzzles in the early game can be done with the early game magic. And I'll sit there and bash my head against it for about an hour trying to work out how to do it, and then I'm like, I clearly can't do this, and then I'll move on.
Yeah. So I've had a similar experience, because obviously James is just mainlining it because he just goes, I'm just going to go where the thing tells me to, because he's 6. But I'm like, you got to look around. You got to get the chests.
Tunnel vision's real hard, doesn't it?
Yeah, just because he's like, he hasn't learnt that that's how you play these sort of open world games. You look around the corners, you see what you can find. He's just like, I just want to fight more enemies, so I just go to where there's more enemies. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but like, there could be a weapon in that chest, there could be that, and it's actually been a really good sense of self-control for me. I sit there and go, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. So I've been trying, but like, yeah, no, just watching him get a good kick out of it is great. The game's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and it is very disheartening to hear what has happened. Let me have a look. If there's anything else outside of that, not really. I don't think. We did receive a review code for the Crew Motorfest. I haven't booted it up yet, mostly because I was in Sydney, and I'm like, I look at the game, and you know when you see like it's all vibrant colors, and I'm playing on some garbage hotel TV. I'm like, no, I want to experience this on the TV at home with its beautiful HDR, the super rad frame rates, And now with the sweet update with the Atmos support, which is fucking sick, by the way. I'm like, I want to hear them engine revving. I want to see the bright, vibrant colors. Like, I'll wait till I get home. And then I got home, and then I had my son. And he doesn't give a shit about racing games, unless it's Lego. He likes Lego 2K Drive. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll come back to that. So I'll probably spend a little bit of time with that this week, because I have enjoyed The Crew in the past. And this one looks fantastic. It looks very Forza Horizon-y. In its sort of vibrant colors and a little bit arcadiness. And then, of course, the trailers with the use of the Gwen Stefani is also a nice little touch as well. Still no Baldur's Gate, because for me, I'm like, I need to be in the zone, right? And yeah, since coming back,
Baldur's Gate is definitely one of those games where you need to dedicate like a good
couple of
hours to it. Otherwise, you just never get anything done.
Yeah, which is what I'm expecting. So I was like, all right, well, I'll carve out. So this weekend, I don't have my son, and
got that couch co-op.
Ooh, it does. That's true. Hey, Phoebe, want to play some fantasy games? This weekend.
No,
she's like,
big
no,
old nerd.
you fucking nerd. No, she actually likes fantasy. Like I've tempted her with she's a big fan of Dune. I'm like, there's a Dune game. I don't want to play it. You might like it. And she hasn't seen the trailer for the new Avatar game yet, which looks surprisingly mint. But we'll talk about that very shortly.
Universe. I haven't seen it, but it still doesn't look good. Unless it's changed vastly since the last time I saw a trailer. No.
All right, let's get to the next week. Inform the players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation. So let's kick things off. Now, Max normally takes the first story, but I'll run it today because I woke up.
Yeah, well, you actually watched it and I didn't, so go for it.
Yeah, so I woke up early on Thursday to watch the PlayStation State of Play. It was announced a couple of days before, and
I told you there was going to be one in September.
Yeah, but I was thinking more of a showcase, not a State of Play. Now, what made me chuckle so hard is, I was listening to our friends over at Explosion Network, their PlayStation podcast, Platinum Explosion. Their entire podcast this week aired before the showcase. They recorded before the showcase and it was announced. And the entire episode was about what the fuck is PlayStation doing? Where's the showcase? What are they? It was awesome. And then literally they release it, and in true fashion, shortly after, hey, a showcase is happening. Now, I didn't answer any of their major questions, but it did make me chuckle. Because I had limited to no expectations heading into this. We received an email. The notifications going around were, hey, it's indies, it's third parties, it's some PSVR 2, and updates on games you already know about. So there was really nothing that should fucking, not blow your dick off, right? So I was like,
seemed to be blown off.
My dick was not blown off. My dick moved a little bit, I guess.
Well, he watched Foam Stars and it literally took off.
All right, but that's. Do we want to go in order or?
I don't know what the order is.
Cool.
I just fucking listed shit down, man.
Now, one thing I did enjoy, and one thing I do like to do, because when we were discussing last week about how E3 and we miss sitting down, taking notes, I did it. I got the notepad, I wrote down all the notes for the State of Play, and that part made me happy. I did enjoy doing that. That part was fun. Now, if you want to hear all my live reactions, I did stream it. I did put the VOD over on the Twitch, on the YouTube, I should say, so you can go and have a look. The State of Play kicked off with a game called Baby Steps, which is this physics game. It's very similar to where it's all about you control the limbs and you go up and down and up and you're try to traverse this path that's all fucking rickety, and you're it's almost like the balance system of Death Stranding by the looks, but you're controlling this dude's legs. And you're step over here, over here. It looks dumb. It's probably the most indie game. When they said they were bringing indies, I think they were being very fucking generous, because that was the only one that felt indie. It's not so much. Shortly after, they announced Roblox was coming, or confirmed, I should say, Roblox is coming to PlayStation on the 10th of October of this year. Now, Roblox being a huge fucking game amongst the youth. My son watches a lot of Roblox content. I'm not going to tell him it's coming because I don't want to play it. Have you dabbled in the Roblox at all?
No, I'm not 12.
No. So it's kind of not been involved in the PlayStation space for quite a while, where it's been obviously on PC, on Microsoft, and I think a lot of the hesitance around Roblox was kind of like it's very creator mod based, right? So like there's very limited restrictions. So it's like you could be playing, next thing you know, you've got Roblox weenuses everywhere. So when they said there was PSVR 2, they didn't mention there was only going to be 2 games because it was only a 30-minute presentation, so it wasn't really all that exciting. First up was Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. The idea of like a VR Ghostbusters was kind of cool. Now, I couldn't remember whether this had been announced before or not, but it is coming out in winter 2023, allegedly, and you've updated here and coming in October, which I don't think is the most accurate because winter in the US is December through to February, so we'll be seeing it either the back end of this year or early next. On PlayStation at least. It might be coming to
October 26, 2023. That
Really?
might be the MetaQuest launch date.
That'd be MetaQuest, yeah. 100%. But then we did also get to see Resident Evil 4 Remake VR mode. We got to see a bit more of a gameplay of it as well, which is fantastic. Oh, no, my apologies. I'm misreading my own fucking notes. It is October 26. The winter 2023 is fucking Resident Evil, isn't it? You dickhead. So you are correct, Max. October 26 for Ghostbusters. In winter 2023 is...
Well, fuck you then.
Yeah, fuck me. Max was right. Didn't watch it. Somehow knows more about it. In Resident Evil 4 VR, the VR mode looks brilliant. It looks like all the fun handsiness of Resident Evil 8, but in Resident Evil 4, it looks mad. It looks sick. They did also announce the DLC coming for the standard remake, where you get to play as Ada Wong, and that is called Separate Ways, and it's coming very soon, actually, from the around the September 21st of this year. So yeah, only a couple of days away, which is pretty exciting. Next up was the trailer for Avatar.
Frontiers of Pandora.
Man, my handwriting's disgusting. Frontiers of Pandora. Now, last time we saw this game, I was like, fuck. And then I saw this and I went, oh, okay. Now, I hate Avatar as a product. I think the movies are bad. I think the writing is disgusting. I think the visually it's pretty fantastic. Like it's certainly a technological marvel. But every other thing about it is poo. I've made my feelings very well known. Even so much so, Phoebe, my partner, she was like, hey, I'm really excited for The Way of Water. I'm like, I'm not. I'll go and see it with you. And then I just shat on it for like 3 hours after we watched it.
Just a quick movie segue. I watched Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
It's actually okay.
Had a fucking great time with it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Now,
Really
admittedly,
enjoyed
when
it.
I saw it, I was a little under the influence. I had some influence, and then we went to the movies, and then the influence kind of wore off about halfway through the movie. So the first half was fucking fantastic for me. Second half, not so much. But that's because I was really persuaded for the first half to be fucking brilliant. But the second that like the bard like got all melty face, that thing's fucking incredible. It is like playing a campaign, like to its truest effect. Even though some of like, oh, you lost the thing we needed. Guess what? You magically can jump the bridge. It was sick. Like all those little DM nods was really, really clever.
Anyway, back to the shitty pen.
But yeah. So like, I didn't realize it was first person. I thought it was in my head. It was gonna be third person. I was gonna hate it. But like first person looked kind of cool. Like you get to like tail fuck things in first person. So that's exciting. Bows and arrows looked alright. Look, I'm not saying I'm excited for the game, not by any sense. But I'm like, oh, this looks different. This didn't look as pooey as I thought it was going to. Now, granted, I may have already gone in with a preconceived notion that it was going to be the inside of an arsehole. Looked alright. No, obviously you have not seen it, so you're still in the same stance. Nice.
Yeah, because Ubisoft are doing this, right?
Yeah, but it's the
Yeah,
team.
so
It's the team that make Division. I like the Division.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no confirmation there's anything like the Division. It's first person for one, and it's fucking Avatar. Ghost Runner 2 got a little bit more with an October 2023 release date. So haven't played the first one.
Demo's out now.
Demo's out now.
There is a demo live right now.
Ooh, sexual. We got shown the 3 new colors for the plates and controllers. I incorrectly wrote them down. You've got them written here. Yeah, we've got volcanic red, cobalt blue, and I think it was starlight silver. Oh, sterling silver. Sterling silver. The renders that went up today on the PlayStation Australia's accounts, like the blue looks really vibrant blue, like a matte. It's kind of got this cool like extra oomph to it, same as like the red and the blue kind of look which is great. The silver looks kind of bland, but I really kind of like that they went.
It's funny you say that, because out of the 3, I think the silver looks the best.
But I like the vibrancy of the colors is what does it for me. Now, even like, because everyone's like, why are they on the same colors? I'm like, well, PlayStation have always used these 3 base colors in their special edition since like PS2, and I'm like, I never liked the silver PS2 either. But I like the red. I like the blue. I don't know. It's a good deep red. It's a good deep blue, which I like.
What they need to do is just like stop fucking around and just do fucking license plates for their own games.
Yeah.
Give us some Days Gone plates. Give us some Last of Us plates.
Well, they've started Spider-Man. They did it. It's coming. It's out.
No, they sold 4 of them and then they instantly sold out.
Yeah, it's true. They did have about 6, and it was a bit shitty. Mute in the chat says, can they give us a classic PS1 grey? I hope so. I have the original, like the PS4, 20th anniversary grey controller. I never got the actual console because it was stupid expensive, but I wish I did. It looked so good. Next up was Helldivers 2, which is the most max game. It's PvE.
How do you say that? Because I hated the first one.
Well, this one's over-the-shoulder third person. So it's team-based. It looks fucking brilliant. It looked very max. It had the classic devs doing voice squad chat, and it was nothing. Like no one was called a racial slur. It was very friendly. Like, look to your left. Oh, I'm gonna equip this. And I was like, shut up. Game looks cool though. I'm very keen for the game because I think the 2.5 Dness of the other one, of the first one, probably why it didn't work for you. I think with your enjoyment of third person over the shoulder stuff, it might do it for you. Check out the trailer when you can. In a surprise twist, they didn't mention any first party stuff, but it rocked up. Spider-Man 2 made its appearance.
He swung in.
Which is interesting. Obviously, the game's coming out in like what, a month? Yeah, literally just a month. So it made sense why it was there, but it was super weird. It was the one, like, in none of the lead into the state of play.
Has Sony forgotten they own Insomniac now?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, we've got third party. Like, you own them, you fuckhead. So they showed off some of the PS5 stuff in terms of them once again claiming the the SSD is responsible for fucking saving cancer and whatever.
The cloud.
Yeah. It looks good. Like, they explained the wingsuit. They sort of show off the extra boroughs, whether it be you got Manhattan, then now you've got Brooklyn and the other one,
Jersey.
Queens. Jersey's not part of New York, you fuckhead. It's a whole other state.
Swing through the tunnel? Can you not swing through the tunnel?
Yeah, apparently that tunnel sucks too, so that'd be fun. They show up that there's like an instant character swap, very similar. They're like, oh, this incredibly amazing, unique character swap. I'm like, didn't GTA 5 do that like 35 years ago?
3 console editions.
Yeah,
ago.
3. Yeah, so I'm like 3. Wait, that's not right. No, it was 3 consoles ago. Yeah, I said it in my head, and I went, that's not right, but it is. They confirmed there's over 65 new suits, which is great, because my son, his favorite thing is swapping suits, so he's going to fucking shit his pants. I I haven't told him about the new controller yet, so I can't wait. Then the one that got you interested just in the title alone was Tales of Arise, Beyond the Dream?
Dawn.
God, my handwriting's horrible. Beyond the Dawn. It's coming out November 1st. Now, you've looked into this a little bit. It's DLC for Tales of Arise, essentially, but standalone?
My understanding is it's DLC, but like equipment and gear is not carrying over, so it seems like this separate thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure yet.
Very similar to like Infamous.
I'll have to suss it out because I reviewed this a couple of years ago when it came out. So shout out again to the team at Bandai Namco. I wonder if it's included in like the Super Deluxe edition that I scored.
Oh, maybe.
Or if it's a standalone. I mean, if it's a standalone, I'll pick it up anyway because I really enjoyed that game. Because shortly after the game was released, I believe the studio leads was like, it's not getting a continuation. Like, we're not doing another game. So it's nice to be like, hey, this is the closure that you get. You'll get an expansion.
That's pretty cool. That's good. That's good stuff. But yeah, so that was the first in what I would call the weeb section, which the weeb section is becoming a lot heavier and a lot stronger in PlayStation State of Plays, and I firmly am against it. Unlike everyone else who was fucking firm in the weeness, because you're all a bunch of weebs, and you get all horned up over cartoon women, especially you, Max.
All the time.
Yeah. See? Didn't even try to deny it. Didn't even try it.
No, I don't know. What's the point?
He just came in. Yeah. I know where I get my bonus. That's fine. They did Honkai Star Rail or Henkai, whatever the fuck.
This game fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's coming out October 11th. It looks poo.
Fucking gacha bullshit RPG.
Yeah.
It's a fucking mobile game.
And you know how many hard weenuses there are for that? Many.
So many.
Speaking of hard weenuses, Foam Stars. They announced there's an open beta coming from the 29th of September through to the 1st of October. There are two zones, one called Smash the Star, which essentially like take out like King of the Hill almost, like just fucking wreck whoever's at top. And then Happy Bath Survival. Yep. That's essentially just TDM, but it's 2-on-2 with support on the sidelines. They showed off all the 8 characters, and I'm pretty confident 4 of them have already been made into pornos. Yeah. I'd play it for the lols, but no, absolutely no. But it did back end, and it closed with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Once again, reaffirming the date of February 29th, 2024.
It totally did a double take on that because next year, obviously, leap year.
Yeah. Like, they just fucking with us, and it's like, it's February 30th. Like, I don't know what they do, but they do it better. Like, they take what is an incredibly weeby principle in fucking Final Fantasy as a whole, but the way they package it, the voice acting, the character design, everything about Final Fantasy is just instantly better than any other fucking JRPG that gets made. Unquestionably. I fucking hate Final Fantasy. Rebirth looks awesome. Looks fantastic. I don't really care about it, but I look at it and I'm like, I want to know more about Sephiroth. I want to know why Cloud's on a Segway. I want to do racing on a bike. It looks sick. It looks awesome.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the trailer for this yet, but I saw some Q&A stuff, and my big issue with this is obviously they've separated Final Fantasy VII into 3 separate games.
Yes.
Is their big game plan. And nothing carries over.
Oh.
They are 3 individual games. You'll get hey, you have a save file, so we'll give you some bonuses. But everything you did in the first game doesn't really matter. Like,
well, that sucks. Hey, I was kind of hoping that...
They turned around and went, hey, we're going to put a fucking video in there as a refresher of what happened in on disc 1, because you don't need to play it to play this one.
Okay, yeah.
They are
Look,
three separate games. So it's not like I can grind the fuck out of game 1, come into game 2. It's like, sorry, back to level 1.
that makes sense though, because by the time you get to, like, what was the level cap in 1? Like something stupid, and then like it's looking at the screen itself, like some of the screenshots, and we're seeing like Cloud with like 10,000 like HP, and then that's and imagine if you get into the third game and you've just grinded the whole way through. Next thing you know, you're getting fucking unnecessarily stupid MMO WoW numbers where your like damage is like 45,000. It's like, what the fuck is why? So the reset to 1 is fine. The lack of carryover is disappointing, because I would hope that the decisions that you made, not that there's any like paths, but like you have made conscious choices within the game, just whether it be leveling up who your squad is, etc., to then it have mean nothing, heading into the second. It's a bit of a bum. But yeah, as I said, it looks great. It looks fantastic. Oh, excuse me. That's a long run without yawning. Shout out to me. For someone that doesn't like Final Fantasy or JRPGs, really, I have thoroughly enjoyed what I had played of Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake. So much so that I do sometimes contemplate like giving it another go. Like, and it's on PS5. Maybe I could. Maybe that'll be enough to swing me over. Who knows? But probably not. No. Yeah, obviously, Max, you haven't watched it, but look, my thoughts when I talked about it in the live react, it was fine. Like, it felt unnecessary with there only being like, I don't know, what felt like 10 announcements, and one with it being only 30 minutes, and a big hunk of that was like Spider-Man and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's like, oh, why? Like,
sorry.
Did you have like a contractual agreement with Square Enix or something?
Just to cut you off. So this is actually on the PlayStation blog. So the question was, given that this is a direct continuation of 7 Remake, can players port over their save file and their character builds to continue their journey? With Hamaguchi saying, we have announced that the Final Fantasy VII Remake project will be a trilogy, that each entry will be a standalone game in its own right. Because of this, each game's balancing is done independently, and a player's levels and abilities will not carry over from one game to the next. However, we have created some special bonuses for fans who played previous games, allowing them to start with a little something extra. So yeah, it's the whole balancing thing of, you've had 3 years to play the last one. We don't want you coming in at like level 100 and one-shotting everything and not enjoying the game.
Yeah, and once again, you don't, because look, if you have to have played the 40 fucking hours of the first one to enjoy the second one, it is possible. Like, let's just say the first one sold 10 million copies. I think it's more than that, most definitely. Let's just say 10 million copies. If you make it so you have to play that one before you can play this one, what if not all those 10 million come over? It's very likely that not all 10 million will come over. Let's just say there's like a 75% return rate. Suddenly you're looking at 7.5 million. Then you go into the next one and you've had to play 1 and 2. What if 75% of that 7.5 million? Suddenly you're looking at like, 4, 5. And like you're cutting in half the amount of potential revenue by restricting it that way. Yes, it's unideal from a overall standpoint, but like if you could do what like Mass Effect did and you'd be like, well, we'll bring some of the stuff over choices that you made, but like you don't have to. And that's kind of what they've done here. And like it's just a business move, I think. Yes, it doesn't quite work with the original Final Fantasy VII, which was all one collective experience. But that's why I see it anyway. Tell me if I'm wrong there, Max.
No, you pretty much summed it up, I think.
Boom. Powder Betson. Oh, well, we can skip the next story because, yeah. But in short, Max, watch the trailers that interest you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I'll kick things off now. As always, we have the new monthly game.
What?
uh, nothing. We have the new monthly games for the extra and premium tiers. This month we have for the extra tier we have Near Replicant PS4, Star Ocean: The Divine Force PS4, PS5, 13 Sentinels: Aegis Rim PS4, Sid Meier's Civilization 6 PS4. Great game. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 PS5, PS4, Unpacking
Also
PS5,
great game.
PS4. Another great game. Odin Sphere, Luftrazer, PS4, Planet Coaster Console Edition, PS5, PS4. It'd be weird if it wasn't the Console Edition. This War of Mine, Final Cut, PS5.
Planet
PS4.
Coaster, fucking PC edition on PS4. Yeah, get ready.
Cloudpunk, PS5, PS4, Contra, Rogue Corps, PS5, Tales Noir, PS5, PS4, Call of the Sea, PS5, PS4, West of Dead, PS4, Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness, PS4, and Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls, PS5.
I didn't buy it. Like, it's one of the only one I didn't get a code for. I asked and it just never came through. Fuck Con. No. I love you, Con. But yeah, cool. I did say Paw Patrol. My son loved Paw Patrol growing up. I'm super keen for Paw Patrol World when it comes out later in the year. Oh, a little MMO for the Paw Patrol. Fuck yeah, RPG.
And for the premium tier, we have Star Ocean First Departure, Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Star Ocean The Last Hope, all PS4 titles, and Dragon's Crown Pro, PS4.
They want $200 for that. You fucking better hope you like Star Ocean.
Hey, at least they're giving you the pro version of Dragon's Crown, not like the standard.
Oh, I'm so glad, because all I wanted was fucking 3 Star Oceans and Dragon's Crown Pro. Better come with like USB-C and fucking better camera.
Yeah,
iPhone
I hear it can natively run fucking Death Stranding.
And Resident Evil 8.
Why?
It's dumb.
Fucking love to play those games on a fucking touchscreen.
Yeah, it's not very good. But look, yeah, the list here, obviously the big hitters, Near Replicant, Point, whatever. I know that you got a boner for Near Replicant. Heard good things.
I mean, it was great. It was great when it was originally launched like 13 million years ago. Back on when it was I think it was.
This is the remake, though. This is the
yeah.
remaster or whatever, a couple of years ago.
I think it's essentially the Asian version that we never got.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, obviously Sid Meier's Civilization Rules. Unpacking is awesome for a game with no dialogue. It's impressive how it made me cry so hard. Like literally, game's fantastic.
Like repetitively kicked you in the nuts, or
no, it was just lovely. Like, because I'll talk about it. So like Unpack, like, I watched it a very.
It's everything moving out, wasn't?
Yeah. So. I think admittedly part of it was just the time that I was watching, that I'd played it. It was one of the first games I played when I moved here into this house. And what the big thing of Unpacking is, you essentially see someone's life through them moving locations. So you see them when they're a kid in their bedroom, then their teenage bedroom, then their young adult bedroom, then when they go get their own place for the first time, and then when they get into a share house, then they, move in with their partner, then they move by themselves again, then they move in with another partner, and then you get to build a nursery, and it's just, and then like this, the house when they're all older, it's fucking so awesome. And I think it hit me at a very raw time, because I just separated from my ex-wife. I had moved in with you for about 3 months, and then I just moved here into my house by myself for the first time. And like I was, sitting in with my house not entirely unpacked, playing this game, and sort of it hit me right in like the emotion as I was experiencing it at that time. Like, especially the one where you unpack it and you're unpacking, after you've clearly, when you're playing, hang on, why am I unpacking only one person stuff when I was unpacking 2? And then you go, oh, shit. And then like that obviously being super raw emotionally for me at the time, I was like, this is incredible. And I'm fucking bawling my eyes out. And then you move into another house again. You're like, oh my God, they found someone else. This is incredible. And they're living together. And then you build a nursery. And then obviously, once again, no longer living with my son, hit me even harder again, and I just started bawling as I remembered like setting up my son's nursery, and the joy and the happiness that came with that. It tore me to shreds. Game's fantastic though, fucking incredible game, and you can finish in a couple hours too, which is even better. Any standouts for you, Max?
Obviously, near a big one, Sid Meier's Civilization, another big one. Call of the Sea is apparently really good too. So I'll have to check that out when it comes out. But this month, don't know if it's worth that $156.
No, it is not. It is not. All right. So you may remember the firmware update was looking to come out. Well, it has dropped. Dropped this week. Dropped while I was in Sydney. So eat a dick, hotel Wi-Fi. I downloaded the fuck out of that. So the big software update came out. It is version 23.02-08.00.00, apparently, says Max. It's available to download and install, as we mentioned, for all users, and it's a big one. Adding support for Dolby Atmos, which is the best thing for me. Supports larger capacity SSDs, and
so 8 terabyte NVMe's.
Yeah, up to 8 terabytes, but don't rush because they're $1,500.
You can fit GTA on it, and that's it.
And Destiny 2, that's it.
Oh, dude, just real quick, Destiny 2 has been fucked this weekend.
Oh yeah.
So someone worked out that a couple of seasons ago they introduced weapon crafting to like take some of the fucking grind out of the game.
Yeah.
Turns out if you're really quick, you can put some gun frames on different guns that shouldn't have those frames. So there's people running around with fucking ARs that shoot 8 shotgun pellets at once, but in the form of an AR. So they're just like fucking, and Destiny's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We're not going to ban anyone for doing it, and we're not going to cancel competitive play this weekend. So fucking have fun. So people have been like out there soloing the hardest tier content, getting solo flawlesses and shit, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're not going to ban anyone. They're going to roll the servers back. They're just like, fuck it, have fun.
Wow, we can really tell that they're like, look, we're heading into the final DLC. We don't fucking care anymore.
Like, there's people soloing the new raid boss by putting fucking shotgun frames on their LMGs, so their LMGs are shooting 16 shotgun pellets per bullet. You're doing like 290,000 damage per second, and the boss's health bars don't register that you're doing damage until you stop doing damage. Then they instantly delete themselves.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's fucked.
Are you going to exploit it?
No, because apparently it's only really on PC because you got to drop your frames to like 30 frames to like try and get the menu swapping going properly.
Oh, okay. So
I just can't be bothered.
Oh, so when you said you got to be quick enough, like you literally have to be like physically quick. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And of course,
but like shout out to Bungie, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like they're like, just fuck it, have fun. Do what you want.
Yeah, fucking rip it up. But yeah, of course, it does come with one of the big features, which is the reduced beepage, which is a big one.
I still haven't muted mine.
Yeah, no, I haven't done it yet. I quite like the beep. In addition to those headlines, new features, the update adds support for the PS5 access control, which is due out shortly, and makes a bunch of improvements to PS5's accessibility features, such as more language support. There are a few improvements made of the game base and parties, as well as activity cards, and the PS5 signature beep is removed. Now, I did see something. I didn't actually read the article, because that's how it works these days. But I saw the headline. Apparently, there's like a thing where it can call out your fucking shame or something on like games you haven't completed.
Yeah, so I don't think instead of like it calls out like your most played games.
Yeah, here we go. It brings out your wall of shame. So this comes straight from Push Square because we're lazy. As previously announced, Sony has phased out the underutilized accolades feature, which is good because I never fucking used it in my life. And in the latest firmware update, it's stealthily redesigned the presentation of this area. You'll see a clearer breakdown of your trophies. That's dope. In addition to your 3 most played games, a wall of shame for many, we suspect. Oh, that's interesting. Obviously, we've criticized Sony's time tracker for its inaccuracies in the past, but we do think this badge makes sense for user profiles, as it gives a very quick insight into players' tastes. In the future, we'd all like to see PS Stars. Okay, yeah, PS Stars inclusion would be great. So what it's essentially doing is going, hey, these are the games you spent a stupid amount of time in. And the picture is like, says Sammy Barker, with a big arrow that says 137,000 to Honkai Star Rail, you piece of shit. For me, it would be like, hello, neighbor. I'm like, yeah, look, my kid loves fucking hello, neighbor. Right, go away. when I said Wall of Shame, I thought it was going to be like, here are the games you haven't completed, you piece of shit.
No.
But it's a good way to sort of like, track receipts, right? We've talked about it before, about people that claim to have finished games and never have, and this just kind of reinforces that as a check. We never lie. I don't fucking lie. I don't finish games all the time. I've redone my let me see if I can pull it up. For those watching on the video version, I did update my, hey, these are the games that you've played this year. I've finished 3 games this year, and I've played many.
I actually think I'm on the same page as you. I think I'm maybe done like 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. And the 3, one of them didn't even come out this year, which was... actually, no, I lie. 3 of them didn't come out this year. All 3 of the games that I've finished have not released this year. They are Hello Neighbor 2, which came out in October of last year. I got the platinum. Woo. Oh, wait, it's just number 3. Obviously, there's a number 2 in there, but I don't know what the fuck happened to number 2. Number 3 is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, because I realized I never finished that game. So I went and finished it at the start of the year. And number 4 was Moving Out, which I finished like, I don't know, a month ago, because I wanted to play Moving Out 2. And there you go. And then, yeah, look, I've got 30 games at the moment sitting there, and that's missing some. I know for sure. Brutal. Alright. Let's keep it moving, Max. A game that I hope to be rolling credits on very soon, because I'm thoroughly enjoying it, is Immortals of Avium.
So almost half of the entire workforce at Ascendant Studios has been laid off as a result of poor sales for its magical FPS Immortals of Avium. Speaking to Polygon, 3 employees at the developer said, quote, nearly half of its staff was let go on Thursday, with bad sales of the game cited as one reason why. Sources claimed around 40 people were laid off from a studio that had 80 to 100 employees. Founder and CEO Brett Robbins added, quote, this was a painfully difficult but necessary decision that was not made lightly. Nevertheless, we have to make this adjustment now that the Immortals of Avium has shipped. We are supporting those affected in every way we can, including comprehensive severance packages and job placement assistance, as well as support services for those who remain, end quote.
Yeah, it's brutal. Because they did release one of those, PNGs.
It's also, just before you get into that, it's also this was part of EA's
EA Originals.
Yeah, EA Originals. So I would imagine it's going to come to EA Play in a couple of months' time, which means it'll see an even greater dip in its sales, knowing that it's coming to a streaming service at some point.
Yeah, so looking at what was said here, like it's good knowing that it's part of EA with EA Originals, which means they could hopefully these people could be redeployed within EA potentially, which would be nice. But yeah, like looking at the game, it didn't chart in its first month, which is not good. There's not a lot of buzz around it. Like they've marketed the shit out of it. So the marketing budget would have been pretty insane. And then to not have it backed up with actual sales is bum. As I mentioned at the start of the show, like I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. I really enjoy its world, its characters, its story, its lore, everything. And I think it's kind of like there were concerns like, it's a new IP. How is it going to go? And it did exactly what everyone fears about a new IP, and why developers are so risk adverse. It's because they shoot their shot, brand new IP, new world, but it's not a games as a service. It's a single player fucking ripper looking RPG, sort of RPG actiony sort of game, and it didn't didn't land. It's tough. Like it's got double A. You kind of go in thinking it might be a double A game, but it's stacks better than a double A game. I think it's brilliant. I haven't finished it yet.
I've been really enjoying my time with it, and obviously, we saw a lot of pre-release stuff, and I'd been keen on it for quite some time. It's a real shame that it's not getting the love that that it could possibly have.
Like, I would say with absolute...
Because I think it's sitting on like a 70 Metacritic, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game.
That's lower than it should be. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
like,
it should
it's
be
not
higher.
a bad game.
Like when we say, oh, you know, the success it should have had. No, it's the success it deserves. I think this game is way better than it's being credited for. Yeah, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. And like, obviously, our thoughts go out to everyone affected, because you know, thoughts can give them a new job. So we try. All right, Max, you're gonna need full insight. Oh, you didn't even do any quick bits.
No. There's bugger all.
Yeah,
There
and
wasn't
Max
much
also
to
like
say.
mid doc got distracted and then had to go like help babies.
Yeah, I'll tell the story because up until like 4:00 this afternoon, you thought you were doing this show
Yeah.
solo, and I'm like, don't worry, man, I'll do a news doc for you. Don't stress.
And then I forgot and started doing a news doc at like 7:30 and went, oh wait, hang on.
I normally send Ryan the news doc like literally right before we record, so he doesn't have a chance to put anything he wants in there. It's just all Max all the time. And at about 7:30, he's like, hey man, do I need to do a news doc? I'm like, no, look, I'm halfway done. My son just shat himself. I had to go change him. And then the second I went to change him, he decided to pee all over everything. And then he woke up, and then I had to bloody feed him. Like, I'm getting there. So we got there in the end. But it was this whole dramatic thing. So there's some things missing that are normally on here, but there wasn't much news. And I felt that especially this next news piece deserved a bit of a go ahead.
All right, well, let's get into it. So,
I'm sitting here counting how many games I've finished this year.
in a blog post spotted by a game developer, the Unity runtime fee was unveiled, which would hit game devs with a financial cost, quote, based upon each time an end user downloads a qualifying game, end quote. Apparently, this is because the Unity engine is comprised of two substantial software components, the Unity editor and the Unity runtime. When an end user, the player, downloads a game, the Unity runtime code gets installed, and now the developer of that code wants to get paid for it. Unity Technologies boldly declared, quote, effective 1st of January 2024, we will introduce a new Unity runtime fee that's based on game installs. We will also add cloud-based asset storage, Unity DevOps tools, and AI at runtime at no extra cost to Unity subscription plans this November. Some caveats would allegedly, quote, avoid impacting those who have yet to find scale, meaning they don't need to pay the fee until they have reached significant success, end quote. And you can see what that looks like below. The Unity Personal and Unity Plus, those that have made $200,000 USD or more in the last 12 months and have at least 200,000 lifelong game installs. Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise, those that have made $1 million USD or more in the last 12 months and have had at least 1 million lifetime game installs.
Okay, just before you get to the next part, because this is like, the next part is the update from this story. Yeah. What it was is they were essentially going to charge, I think it was a 15 to 20 cent fee per download. So a lot of concerns that came out were like, people aren't going to review bomb our games anymore. They're going to fucking install our game and uninstall it and install it again over and over again because this fee was based on every single install.
Yeah.
So instead of just, review bombing the shit out of their game, you could bankrupt companies if you were malicious enough.
Yeah. And if we've learned anything, gamers' trademark are cunts, and they will do cunty things like this cunty behavior because they have nothing better to do but be downright fucking useless cunts. And they will do it, and they would decimate companies whether they deserve it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so updating on that, Unity Technologies' decision to announce a controversial new install fee policy went over with exactly as well as you expected, with the video game development community being a little bit shitty about it. All over X, or formerly Twitter, the Unity account is attempting to get the word out, claiming that, quote, more than 90% of our customers will not be affected by this change. Then why do it? That's editorializing. Fees would only be levied on new installs and not reinstalls. Well, how do they know that? Demos would not incur a charge, but early access titles would. And in the case of fraudulent install charges, quote, we will work directly with you where fraud or botnets are suspected of malicious intent. Okay, so then it has come down to some sort of fucking review system. Not trustworthy. There was interesting. There was like Cult of the Lamb devs were essentially like, well, guess what? Suddenly we're just gonna have to pull Cult of the Lamb because we're fucked. Like it's almost penalizing studios that make a successful game. It's really bizarre. Like you would think that they, the studio would want to be like, Unity would like, yeah, man, like fucking A. Use Unity because Unity does have a reputation for being like the most easy to use, engine. Simple as that, right? Then you've got the likes of Unreal, and maybe this might make people pivot to Unreal, but like they're the main two. Unless you're going to like RPG Maker, etc. But if you are any form of independent developer, Unity is your go-to. Then, once you can go to a particular scale, you may shift to Unreal. And that's it. Like, there's no chance that, whether it be Bethesda's creative engine, or EA's Frostbite, or Guerrilla's Decima, or Crytek's CryEngine. Like, none of these are going to suddenly become readily available to mass market. So, like, the system wasn't built in place for these two to be the key. And I understand that the developments of Unity runtime do deserve to get paid. I don't mean to alarm you. You have. Fuck off. Right? Like, it just feels like further corporate greed in a time where everyone has less money than ever before except the large corporations. Like, I don't know what Unity's over-unders are, but, like, I guarantee you they're making perfectly fine amount of money.
Yeah, it was a really weird take, and yeah, most of the people, most of the development teams who were using Unity were like, I guess our game's just getting pulled as of the 1st of January, like,
yeah,
just because that has to be a daunting thing on your mind, going like, if we piss off the wrong people, like we this could seriously like destroy us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And once again, like they're like, well, we know like our fucking platform users, right? We know, it's just when you can't trust the customer to not be cunty, it's horrible. It's good. It's like essentially it's more KPIs that you cannot control, which makes me furious to no end, by the way. Just as a general business practice. But yeah, it's a bit fucked. Fuck them. Like, it's one of those decisions that all it will do is drive away people that could possibly use your platform. Yeah, dickheads.
Yeah.
Well done. You fucked around and you found out. Max, do you have the games that are coming out this week?
Yeah, I totally just pulled them up.
Yeah, Ledge. I could see you clicking, so I was like, I'm going to pull this out a little longer and then draw attention to it.
All right, cool. So games this week. We have Broken Edge on PS5 dropping September 19th. We have Lies of P on PS4, PS5 dropping September 19th. We have Mortal Kombat 1 on PS5 dropping September 19th, unless you bought the Super Edition, in which case came out last week. It's so confusing.
Well, we're playing it this week, just saying.
Ruins Magus Complete PS5 September 19th. We have Hellsweeper VR PS5 September 21st. We have Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways September 21st. Shuyan Saga September 22nd. And Payday 3
yes,
24th.
That reminds me, I should probably hit up PlayOn about Payday.
And we have The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trials on PS4 September 22nd.
Yep, you could have ended at Payday 3.
Could have, but didn't. Chose not to.
You down for some Payday?
Yeah. I have a constant crew of 4 people.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that was the problem. I loved Payday 2. Same.
I loved Payday as well.
But I had no one to fucking play with. I had it on PC, and then I bought it on console because I had friends like, yeah, I'll play it on console. So I bought it again, and then no one fucking showed up. And because the AI sucks asshole, it's not very fun.
It's Liza P and Mortal Kombat 1 this week.
Yeah. Unless we can get some payday people.
Unless we get some payday people.
I don't know, Padge, Joel, you, me.
Yep.
We already talk all the time. Except we all have kids, and we all have...
And we've never, ever played games together.
Yeah. How many times in our little group chat we've gone, we'll totally play...
We're still trying to organize a Final Fantasy 16.
Oh my god, yeah, Final Fantasy 18 will drop by the time you guys do your Final Fantasy 16 to spoiler chat.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 will be out before it.
Oh, that'd be cool. For you, not me. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of the show. Once again, for a show that's like, there's not much news, pushed it over an hour. Yeah. But as we say each and every week, thank you so much for coming and listening to this bullshit. Time is the most precious thing we have in the world, so thank you for choosing to spend with us. Your decision is still bad. Max, send them home.
All right, everybody. This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, come and check out our socials: Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturists. We want us to record the show live. We can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. If you are listening on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you can watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturists, as well as our merchandise store, popculturists.com/shop, where you can buy shirts, other assorted shit with our logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was for the players. And once again, huge congratulations to both yourself and your wife on the lovely arrival of Not So Big Chungus.
I'm going to be super rude. I'm going to run. I really need to take a piss so bad for like the last 10 minutes.
Man, I said a really nice fucking ending, and that's what you change it to. Get fucked.
Piss out.